Hi, my name is Norha Milena Camelo, and my research is about the influence of Brasilificação in the reconstruction of the cultural identity of migration movements in Brazil. This research happened because of the great sociopolitical changes that South America has gone through in the last 10 years. Brazil, being the largest country of this continent, has suffered a considerable increase in the migration influx, and that has impacted not only these immigrants coming to Brazil, but the Brazilian population, and most importantly, how the Brazilian government creates policies to receive them. The main objective was to analyze the migratory phenomenon under the lens of Brasilificação, studying the concepts of acculturation, cultural shock, and law enforcement in the concrete cases presented, and that was achieved. The specific objectives were to create the term Brasilificação, to identify the different groups of forced migration that have arrived to Brazil in the last decade and their realities, and to identify inland and the nearby regions which of those groups the city has. Research was developed in an exploratory way with a qualitative approach through books, studies, and news articles of political, economical, anthropological, psychological, and law nature. The term Brasilificação can be defined as the acculturation process that these individuals classified as non-Brazilian will undergo, their level of acceptance or repulsion of the new dominating culture they've arrived to, as well as their attachment to their original dominated culture will determine how well they adapt in the country. And we did select scales of measurement such as MIA and the Portuguese version of the bicultural scale to be able to apply with immigrant subjects selected. However, because of coronavirus and the quarantine stayed, we were not able to do this. And the second part of the results come from the research on current immigration landscapes in Brazil. Brazil was found to be the final destination of many of these groups of forced and displacement migration. However, slowly, because of the status that the government issues these groups, the country is becoming more of a pit stop in their migration route than a final destination. This is due to the fact that the country cannot offer according protective measures, or in the last cases arriving, it cannot offer a more attractive economic scenery to find means of livelihood. Now, the most important part for us is being able to classify these immigrants. They are voluntary, spontaneous, which are the ones that take their own risk while traveling, and the second type of forced migration, and these come from persecutions, violence, natural or environmental catastrophes, and that will determine if they are able to access protective governmental measures or not. Now, we found that in Brazil, we have Haitians that are humanitarian immigrants, Syrian prima facie immigrants, Congolese are refugees evaluated case to case, Ghanaians, Bengali, Nigerian, and Colombian are both economical immigrants, and Colombians can also be refugees, and more recently, Venezuelans that are refugees officially recognized by the government. Now, creating the term Brasilificação, we want to open the possibility of a dialogue about who these immigrants are and how they're being treated not only by the population, but by the government. This means, or we find that we need to restructure this immigrant process in Brazil, but also we need to educate the population so that they don't look at immigrants with prejudice, but welcome them instead of marginalizing them. Thank you very much.